early on, in 67, maybe even, or early 68, I had proposed to Prabhupada that I would go to London and meet the Beatles. This is what I wanted to do. And I didn't realize I had thought about it at all early on. I thought it was an idea that we all came up with later, but apparently that idea grew in Prabhupada's mind, because then he sent a letter to Mukunda later in the spring of 68 saying, what do you think of Shyamsundar's idea to go to London and meet the Beatles? It was never to start a temple, it was to meet the Beatles. But somehow or other the idea grew, and the jail episode that I was telling you about earlier, the government actually, one day, even though we were stone broke, I actually got a check in the mail one day for a couple $1,000s, which was evidence being returned from that trial that I'd had in my pocket at the time of arrest. Suddenly we had all this money, and I asked Prabhupada, I got together with Mukunda and Gurdas and Jamuna and the others, and we made a kind of a plan, a proposition to Prabhupada that we all go to London. So he had given his sanction that we could go. We would use this money for all of us to go. But Malati was pregnant. We had to wait until she gave birth to Saraswati, and then a few months later till she could travel. So it was pretty well set for August of 68 that we would go. And meanwhile, Prabhupada was in Montreal, up there in Canada. He had to go for some visa problems. And so we were on our way to London. We said goodbye to everyone in San Francisco, packed up, and we were on our way to London via Montreal. Malati brought Saraswati in to meet Prabhupada. The first I had called Prabhupada on the phone to tell him that she had been born and what was her name to be, and he said, Saraswati, over the phone. So she was named right on by Prabhupada over the phone. And then when he met her, he just lit up. She was really the first child born in the Krishna movement. And he just lit up like a light bulb, grinning ear to ear, and beckoned, and Malti brought her over. She just held her like this, just a swaddling, 2 months old child. And finally he made the motion that somebody should take the child. He says, otherwise, people will say, what kind of sannyasi am I? But there on after, as she grew, Prabhupada had developed a very special rapport with her. And it was almost expected that every morning, if we happened to be living in the same house with Prabhupada somewhere, that she would get up and go in his room, usually before anybody else. We'd all come in, and she'd be sitting there having had a long talk with Prabhupada, even though she couldn't talk yet. Prabhupada just loved her, and he loved to goad her and make her cry. All kinds of things he would do to make her cry. One time when I was destined to go somewhere, he said, well, your father's going far away. He may never come back. She starts going like this, and then but he says, I think, wait, you want to go with him? Yes, Prabhupada. All right, then we can put you in one of his suitcases and pack you up tight. And you may have to travel for several days like that inside the box. And she started crying. I just burst in laughter. He loved to show her off in India. When we first came, by then she was about 3 or so, and she was able to dance and chant on the stage. He'd request her to come up and dance every night at those Pandal programs and stuff, because it just captured India to see this. Prabhupada did things like he had a wedding on stage. He married a couple of Western devotees. He had all these white elephants dancing up there. He really put on a show in Cross Maidan. It just put us on the map here, basically.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,